Hello, this is the second Visual Basic tutorial. The first one was just the installation. Now we're actually going to start programming. So let's not waste any time and go ahead and open up Visual Basic. And you can either click on File and New Project, or you can just click on New Project right here. Okay, we're going to select the Windows Form application, and we're going to change the name to Hello World. And click OK. Now what this does is it creates a basic template for our Hello World application. And what I want my Hello World application to do is there's going to be a field where the user enters their name, and then they click a button, and the button, like after clicking the button, it says hello and then whatever their name is. It'll get a bit more clear once I actually start. So here it is. Here's our form. This is called a form. That's the window that's going to show. And we want to add a few things to it. So on the left is your toolbox. You want to go through and search through it. Okay, so we want a label. We actually want two labels, so bring two labels out. Right, just click and drag. Also, we want a text box. Just put that there, and we want a button. Now, a button, as you would assume, is just a button. A label is something that you can put text into and you can change to your program, but the user really doesn't use it. It's just a reference for the user. So the first label, label 1, we're going to go, this is the properties dialog right here, and we're going to make sure that's clicked, label 1, and it's going to say label 1 right here, and we're going to change its text to enter name. And this is just directing the user to enter the name, and we're just going to put it in the corner right there. Just make that a bit bigger. You don't have to make it look exactly like this. This is just, if you want to. Right there's good. And we'll add this. Now click on label 2 and make sure it says label 2 right here. And we're going to change that text to nothing and press enter. And now it's going to look like this. Even though it says nothing right now, it will say something in a sec. You want to do that and bring the button up there. Make this go that side. Okay, and we're going to change the buttons text property to OK. Right? So now, and we're just click on this form, and you know how it says form 1 right now? We're going to change that text to hello world. And okay, now we're going to double click on the OK button, and what this does is, you see how it formed all of this code. This is the code of the program that we're making, and this private sub button 1 click, this is everything between this and this is gonna happen when the user clicks on the button. So we want to do a couple of things. First, so we want our label 2, which you can't see right now because it doesn't have a text value, but here it is. We want the text of this to equal hello and then whatever the user put into the text box. So to do that, we do label 2, which is the name of the label, not the text, but the name. The name property is different than the text property, and I'll show you that in just a second. But label2.text, because text is, the text property of label 2, it would equal label2.text equals hello, and we have to put hello in quotations because that's just the way VB works, and put a space plus and then the text box's name was text box 1, and we want the text box as text. We don't, you can't refer to the text box itself, but you have to refer to its text, so that's why we add the dot text. So, as I said before, this changes label 2's text to hello and then whatever's in here. So, and as I mentioned the name property before, the name property is right here. You can change this. If you change this, then you have to change it right here, because the name is what you use to refer to the object, and these are called objects in the code. So let's just run this really quick. When you press that green arrow, what this does is it creates your program temporarily. So I'll type in CR Productions, click OK, and it says hello CR Production. So that's great. That does what we want. Just to, get you familiar with some more stuff. As I said before, this is the property dialog, and you have a bunch of properties in here that you will be working with later on, with like more complex programs and stuff. I use this a lot, and Visual Basic actually makes it really easy to make a user interface, which is what this is. As you see, it says form1.vb design, and when you click and drag stuff onto here, what Visual Basic, the program that you're writing your program in, what it does is it generates the code for the design, and all you have to do is code for what you want the program to actually do. And this is, it becomes a lot more helpful when you get more into programming. But yeah, so, maybe try out some other stuff. I showed you how to change the text property from here, but so like, test it out, make something a little different if you want, and check out my next tutorial. We'll be learning a little more, and eventually we'll get to make a calculator. So, good luck with this. Try it out, practice it a bit, get familiar with your environment. And yeah, and a lot of the times you might not get expected results. Like if you mistype and it only says text, right? Either you're gonna see this line come up, or when you go ahead and debug, it says there were build errors. Would you like to continue? And I say no, and then it says text is not a member of system form label, blah blah blah. And it shows you where you made the error, and you're like, oh, it's supposed to be text, not text. So we fix that, and then run it again, and it works. So that's called debugging. You debug whatever the problem was. And that's it for this tutorial. Remember to subscribe, comment, rate, all the good stuff. Thank you for watching.